Hey guys, Al Perhax here. And in this short video, I want to go through some psychic concepts. I'm also going to answer some questions. It's going to be a short video, but it's going to be powerful. I'm going to give you some powerful stuff. Now, conceptualize the concept of mind force quantum qigong. I always talk about this area of the triad, right? Which is mind, body, spirit. Now, I tell you that I am always on the lookout for new techniques, new concepts, new methods, new technologies that are going to help me get better, right? So I'm going through this course, studying with this guy, and there's no physicalness to the training. So in other words, it's all meditation and it's all mental. There's no physical representation of the chi. Now, if you grasp this concept, you're going to truly understand the power of this mind force quantum qigong system. And the reason I promote it so heavily is because it absolutely works. And I want you to think about this from a logical level, not from an emotional level. You know, does this work or whatever? I want you to think about it from this perspective. If the chi is physical, which absolutely I believe it is, and that's why we teach people how to emit chi. Emit chi means you can feel it. When I do the palm test, I can feel that chi. You should be able to feel that chi right there. When I do that, you should be able to feel that if you're sensitive enough. And so this guy's teaching me to get a meditation stance, or it's not even a stance, sitting meditation, and you go through it. And it's a good class, don't get me wrong. But it's not going to get me the results I want, really, right? I mean, I've already been doing this for 20 years, and I'm looking at it from a perspective as what can I learn here? And the answer was not that much. But I want you to think about this. So you've got this physical chi energy. I call it quantum qigong. That's how we build it up with the chi power blueprint system. We build up the quantum qigong with all the different years of training. So we're building up this physical thick chi. Okay, it's physical. It's a physical representation. And then you take the mind force, which is linking that mental acuity. So it's taking what this particular person I'm learning some stuff from mentally and locking down into this mental aspect. Now, what do you think's more powerful? Just the mental, just the physical, or the combination of the two? Because when you put the two together, the mind force and the quantum qigong, what that does is it creates a bridge and a conduit that enables you to get the spiritual essence that maybe you've always been looking for. It allows you to get that sensitivity to become intuitive and to, let's say, be psychic, so to speak, or to become more psychic than where you are right now. So think about it from this. If you were to just sit back and you were to think, and I'm going to tell you this is powerful too, is that there have been studies where they would take two groups. Actually, it would take three groups, right? I always take three groups on a test. And one group would shoot basketballs physically, right? The second group would not shoot basketballs physically. They would shoot basketballs mentally only. And then there was a third group which shot basketballs physically and mentally. And when they got the results, which group do you think did the best? The group that did the best was the group that shot the balls physically and also shot the balls mentally at the same time, because there was a physical representation, there was a mental representation. Same thing with getting in shape. If you want to get in shape, you've got to take a physical aspect to it and a mental aspect to it. So the same thing's true with meditation, psychic influence, psychic power, intuition. You've got to build it from both angles. So if you're just doing physical training, like I know a lot of people that do Tai Chi, Qigong, different types of meditations, physical, but they're not building up the physical energy, so to speak. They think they are, but they're not doing it the right way. And then I've known people that are just doing meditations. Now, don't get me wrong. These are all great methods. And if you're doing a method like that, it's fantastic. But when I can teach you how to externalize your chi energy in a rapid fashion, in a matter of weeks, it's going to blow you away. And then when we tap in the mind force, which allows you to be able to open up the concepts like intuition, like healing into your life, it makes it even that much more powerful. Now, I'm gonna answer a question. This was kind of a strange question that I got just a couple days ago. A guy says to me, how can I use your training in order to convince my wife to have another woman come into our relationship and make it so that it was actually her decision, right? And I thought about it. This isn't the first time I've gotten this question, but this is the first time I'm answering it, because usually I get it and I go, come on, stop it. But here's the deal. So you want to influence somebody that you love, and you want to bring somebody else into this situation. Now, I'm using this as an example because I want you to understand how powerful this kind of stuff is. So you want to bring somebody into the relationship. Now, if your wife is totally opposed to it, totally opposed. I mean, I'm talking 100%. She does not want anything to do with anything like that. It's going to be a problem. Because if you can convince her against her own will, then it's not a good thing. Because you're always looking for a win-win situation. Now, if your wife is kind of open to it, but she's shy and, that kind of thing, then you can influence her. Okay? Because then you make it a win-win for the both of you. And the reason I'm saying this is because it's the same thing with almost any other type of influence, is that there's got to be a win-win. I don't ever push anything that I believe on someone else unless they're open-minded to it. Because I know one thing, if somebody's not open-minded to it, number one, and I force something at them, they could, for a short period of time, actually agree with me. But if I don't constantly stay in front of them, they're going to eventually go back to the way they thought. Now, I want you to understand something. This is the same concept that cults use. Because what a cult does is they isolate you and they influence you. And they tell you whatever that particular cult is going to teach you about. And they keep you in an isolated format so you really don't have time to think about anything else. And so you become ingrained in that thought process. You can do that with people. We do it with our kids. Companies do it with us. If you've ever worked for a company, you learn that they teach you how great the company is. And it's a cult-like phenomenon. That's why cults work. And somebody that says I couldn't be influenced by a cult, you're wrong. Because if you were put in that situation and you were being indoctrinated constantly by that information and you were not giving an outlet to leave, you would become indoctrinated just like everyone else, just the way it is. It might take you longer, but eventually it happens. Now, the good news of that is that once you understand what's being done, then you can fight against it, right? Once you know that somebody's trying to influence you, you can fight it. And then the other thing is that you realize that you have to do it when it's a win-win situation. For instance, the guy who wants his wife to do something that maybe she doesn't want to do, that's totally wrong. Because what you're doing is you're causing somebody to go against the grain. I remember years ago, I got another email from somebody, it was a guy, right, saying that he wants to try to convince his wife to smoke because he's been smoking on the sly. So how do I get my wife to want to smoke? It's like, why in the world would you want to get your wife to smoke? It's so selfish and it's wrong. So I would never teach somebody how to do that. But the thing is you got to do things in a win-win situation. If I want to influence you to become part of my system, there has to be a big win for you. And the big win is that it's going to change your life. It's going to allow you to tap into resources that you've maybe never experienced before. And I don't want this video to go that long, but hopefully I've given you some food for thought that makes sense, that you can understand. And if you have any other questions, please send it to me. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. So long.